Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Passport Diaries. We are a travel podcast by Travel Store that takes you to unique and off-the-beaten-path places all around the world. My name is Jackie Shern. I'm your Travel Store host, and today our luxury travel advisors are going to take you to a practically brand new resort in Mexico's Riviera Nayarit. This property is the latest jewel in the sparkling crown of Rosewood, and it is called Rosewood Mandarina. So I'm joined today by our two advisors, Wendy Sandridge and Stacey Batt, who went along with several other of our travel advisors to see the resort for themselves and experience it in May of 2026, with the intention of coming back home and doing a report on the resort to share with you, our fellow travel lovers. We're also joined by two of our friends at Rosewood Mandarina, Nicole and Samantha, who, when we were down in Mexico, were our hosts and took us to see all the different suites, took us to the golf course, the equestrian center, where we got to feed and pet horses, and got to see the polo fields, the spa, just on and on and on. This resort really does have it all, and we dig into all of it in this episode. By the end of this episode, I promise you will be drooling to get down to Riviera Nayarit to Rosewood Mandarina to experience it for yourself, because it is so well suited for kind of every kind of traveler there is. Families will love it, solo travelers even, if they want to just get a little escape, honeymooners, it's perfect. Be on the beach, have a great experience at the spa, golfers, people who like equestrian activities and want to go see a polo match during the season. It's got everything you could ever want. While we were down there, we took a ton of photos and videos. So if you can, watch the video episode on our YouTube channel so that you can see and hear all of the bird sounds. There's a tour of the property by bicycle, by beach cruiser that we have in there. You can see the rooms that we had, which were massive. And you can just get a really good sense of what this resort is all about, because it really is unique. Nicole describes it as a private nature reserve that's set outside of Puerto Vallarta, which is the closest airport and the closest city. But it really is just a decadent destination that is set away, and you really feel like you're in your own private reserve. So get ready to have your passport stamped in Mexico's Riviera Nayarit at Rosewood Mandarina. But before we get into the episode, make sure that you subscribe to our channel on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you like to listen, so that you never miss an episode and catch our subsequent resort reports. And on that note, let's go ahead and head down to Mexico with Wendy, Stacey, Samantha, and Nicole to see Rosewood Mandarina. Hi, guys.
Hi, Jackie. Hi, everybody.
So we're talking about the Rosewood Mandarina, which was the property that Wendy, Stacey, and I and a few other advisors got to visit. And it's a brand new property, so we wanted to give our resort report and talk about kind of why we fell in love with it, even though we had like maybe 2 days to spend there and we wanted 2 weeks. And it was just perfect. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And to start, I think we thought it was a good idea to give people an idea of where it's located.
Absolutely. So, Rosewood Mandarina, it's located on Riviera Nayarit. Actually, the nearest airport that we have is Puerto Vallarta. So actually, we are just located 45 minutes up to an hour away from Puerto Vallarta Airport. And it's such a unique place between the mountains, the flatlands, and the beach side as well.
I would say it's definitely an off the beaten path location. Like, we're not in the thick of the busy touristy areas. This is like getaway into lush green areas.
Absolutely. And actually, there's like a highway that it's directly from the airport to the property. So actually, it's going to be very easy and smooth the way that also that highway connects to the property. And as you said, Jackie, it feels a little bit more like on the jungle and on the nature. So everything it's about the nature and the culture that it's over here before, and also that we represent very proudly.
And I forget, had anybody, either Wendy or Stacey, you hadn't been to that area before, like, right? The Riviera Nayarit?
I've been to Puerto Vallarta, but not to Nayarit.
Yeah. It feels totally different than Puerto Vallarta. Puerto Vallarta, just outside the city, you've got lots of resorts, next to each other, people walking by on the beaches. This felt so remote in a great way that, it was less than an hour from the airport. And then I felt like we were on our own private beach there, even though there was another resort, but that resort wasn't even on the same beach. So we really felt like it was our own private resort. I loved it.
So the property itself, it's split into 3 tiers, right?
That's correct. We are split up between the flatlands, the mountain, and a beach. We really like to have 3 different ecosystems, because at the end you kind have different experiences based on which part of the resort you are. So on the flatlands, we like to call it the heart of the house, because actually it's like very walkable. Also, we have bike stations as well. Then is the beach side that it's stunning. You have like toes on the sand right away. And if you want to be a little bit more like relaxed and maybe enjoy the view from the mountains, also it's great.
Yeah, and it was very cool. I will say one of my favorite things to do, or that was just available to us, was to hop on the beach cruisers that were just kind of sprinkled throughout the property. And I went out like early, like 7 a.m. one morning, and just cruised around, went down to the beach, and then went through the flatlands. And then I did not ride the bike up the mountain. I wasn't that brave, and I didn't have that much energy, but you can. And it was cool to like kind of go seamlessly through those 3 different areas, and to see like how each spot would fit a different kind of traveler or guest. Like I think it was Wendy, did you say something about the mountaintop being really like something that you think honeymooners or like romance trips would be good for?
I think I would send the honeymooners to the beach.
You do the beach.
But I also loved the views from the mountains, right? I thought the views from the mountaintop were stunning, but having that direct access on the beach was great. But then our rooms were on the flatland, and we had a plunge pool, but it was huge. I mean, it was big enough you could literally swim and play, in this, you could put 8 people in there comfortably playing in the pool together, So, and had a beautiful outdoor patio area, just lush and green. And, you really felt the sense of place when you're there. And our suites were gorgeous, just huge.
Very big.
And the outdoor shower. And I think I heard a family near me, so they were having the time of their life in the plunge pool, which for them, the little kids, it was a regular sized pool.
And our bathtub, I loved the tub. Yes, beautiful tub. And they had it set out with bath salts and scrubbies and everything you would need to take the perfect bath. And I did. I tried it out. It worked great.
By bath, you meant the indoor pool.
Yeah.
It was huge.
I actually got home and called the client right away, because this particular lady needs to exercise every day in her own private pool because she has health problems. And it's hard to find a pool that big that is at a resort like this. And the only other place that I'd sent her, well, 2 places, was Jamaica and Bora Bora, where she was so happy with the pool. And I called up and said, you got to go to Mandarina. Rosewood has exactly what you want.
And what were some of your, like, I have my top 3 favorite, trying to pare it down, I have my top 3 favorite experiences there, which was the restaurant at the top, Topu restaurant. It was just such a treat. We had that like private room, and the chef was there by happy coincidence, which was so cool to meet him. Yeah.
I don't know how they do it, but they combine sushi and Peruvian food, and it's magical. And that setting is gorgeous. The views from up there are absolutely stunning. And you have all the fresh fish laid out. I have pictures of the fresh fish all laid out in the cooler at the perfect temperature already. And then we had sashimi and sushi and salmon, and oh my gosh, it was so good.
And the bartenders, they were so nice and like incredibly talented. I think somebody mentioned that one of them, or maybe both of them, are awarded and lauded mixologists, which was very cool. But they were also just so fun and happy to make anything. And given the freedom, they were like, oh yeah, I got you. Let me make you a little surprise.
And the mocktails were good too. I loved my mocktails that they made me. So it was awesome.
And then my second favorite piece was, of course, riding the bike around the property. And then I think my third was the service.
Yes.
Everybody on that property were so friendly, the biggest smiles on their faces all the time, and just like willing to go out of their way. And one of them did go out of their way for Wendy, actually. at the beach?
I was at the beach, and our waiter, well, all the waiters had big sombreros. And they weren't just like a regular hat that you could buy in a gift shop. They literally came down over their face and covered them in shade. And I had just had a skin cancer removal. So I had to really be careful in the shade. And I'm like, oh, I would love to have one of those sombreros. And he's like, let me get one for you and I'll bring it tomorrow, like from the town. And the next morning I met him at the bar right before we were getting in our cars to leave. And he had brought me the 2 sombreros that I bought him from him. And I wear it all the time. When I'm wearing it, I think of Mandarina.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it was nice.
What I would love to kind of paint a picture of the property is one day we did a property tour. And so we all got in our buggies and drove around. We saw, the mountains, the flatlands, the beach. But then we also went out to, I think, what's probably one of the most unique things about the property, which is the stables and the horses and the garden.
Tennis courts.
Yeah.
Pickleball.
I loved the property tour. We saw the farms where you're growing all your fresh herbs and fresh food over there. And then I thought, the golf, you have a whole golf club and golf team. And then the polo, though, and the horses just blew me away. I've been to Mexico before. I've ridden horses a couple times in Mexico before. These horses are spoiled. These are beautiful horses. And I know the team that takes care of them is doing such a great job because they were happy horses. They were just, I was in heaven petting them and looking at them. And then, so you can do, horseback ride around the property, but then they have polo matches. Like a couple times a week, you can go and watch a polo match and have drinks or snacks at the bar. There's this great restaurant that sits right on the polo field. And you can watch the polo match. And I thought that was just so incredible. When people go to a beach resort, sometimes they think, oh, all there is to do is sit on a beach, right? So what else do you have to do? So, oh my gosh, again, at that property, there was basketball, pickleball, tennis, golf, polo match, horseback riding. And that was all on
ziplining.
And ziplining. That's all in the flatlands. And then you have all the ocean activities too, right? Fishing, snorkeling. So I think there's plenty to do for families. There's tons to do for families. Teens, I thought this would be a great property for like teens, young adults, couples for sure, girlfriend getaways. Like, I think that, I was thinking multi-gen as well. Cause grandma and grandpa can hang out at the bar with a Mai Tai and, the kids can go play basketball and the adults can go get a massage. And, the spa was great.
The spa. There's so much I forget about things that are there. But yes, the spa, maybe Nicole or Samantha, if you could talk about the spa, because I haven't seen one quite like that. Like in the center, there was this like massive tree. And I remember the therapist was talking about how it's part of the indigenous culture there. I don't remember too much about it, so if you can jog my memory.
Of course, yes. So actually, over there we have 2 beautiful parota trees that actually the ancient culture used to believe that they were sacred, because actually the form of the city, it's like a form of an ear. So every time that you are doing a treatment or you are like walking through the areas, the spa team will invite you to share something with the tree, like maybe a concern you have, or maybe something that you want to share with you that it's feeling like a little bit that you want to share, because the seed will fall to the ground and then will give a different meaning. So that's something very special and also reflects the connection with the nature that the ancient culture used to have.
There also just, I know it's a little bit of a departure, but the artwork there with like the tiny bead detailing, and in each of the rooms, like there were the bulls and the animals kind of sitting up on a shelf, and all done in this like hand placed little I don't know what to call it. It's like a bead design.
Like this.
Yeah.
You got one.
We told
this is from another time that I went, but if I get close, you can see the beads. But then far away, it looks like it's just art. They had beautiful, like the eagle. There was an eagle. There were like birds. And we each in our rooms, we had like a statue that was all done like that. And then wall hangings. Some of us had different animals in our rooms. Wendy, what was in your room?
What is the name of the little animal?
Coati.
What is it?
Coatis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how cute!
Oh, there's one.
Oh.
That guy.
They're so
Yeah, we
cute.
saw those. They're so cute. Just don't let them in your room because they will eat whatever's in there.
Which, talk about wildlife on property.
Do we talk about the crocodiles on property or we don't talk about the crocodiles on property?
It was a draw for me. I went looking to see if I could see one.
Yeah, you could kind of see them at the top. They're in their own little preserve,
Estuary.
right? Sanctuary. You can go on a bridge over them and to look for them, but they don't really have access to the property. But I thought that was really cool. I mean, it's keeping the natural, resources and keeping it natural the way it was before you built there,
Absolutely. So actually, I believe that that's why the beachfront ecosystem is the most like immersive one, because on the back you have the story with the crocodiles, and then on the front you have the beach, and underneath the bridge there's like a fence, so there's not a way that they can cross to the beach, and also there's not a way that we can go to their home. But it's beautiful because at the end, I mean, while you're passing in the buggy, you're seeing the crocodile swimming or the birds are also flying over there. So it's beautiful.
There is a lot of amazing nature at Rosewood Mandarina with all of the beautiful animals. And I just want to mention, it's also weaved into the kids club experience at our Little Explorers Club, which is so fun. I wish we could have enjoyed ourselves, however. It's something that the little ones really get to enjoy and learn a lot about the various species that are inhabited there at Mandarina. And I mean, there's like over 1,000 birds, I believe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Samantha?
Yes.
So yeah, there's a lot to learn.
Yeah, actually there's a biologist on the property, and he is the one that is in charge, like he's running the Explorers Kids Club. So it's really nice because actually a lot of the different activities that are for the kids, there's a weekly calendar, and all of them are inspired on different things and animals, culture that they can meet on this destiny.
Super fun.
We talk about our cooking experience at La Cucina.
Yeah, we arrived at one day, or upon our arrival, we immediately started with a hands-on cooking class.
They had like the roasted vegetables all ready for us, and then they were in the volcanic rock bowls, and we had the whole the press, and we were smashing all the vegetables to make the salsa, and then the guacamole as well. So they had it already, and we were squishing and squashing, and Katie was doing the guacamole. I was making the salsa. And we can make it as spicy or as not so spicy. So, I'm a little gringa, so I did mine a little less spicy. But I think others did it a little more spicy. And but then also tortillas. We had to make handmade tortillas, and I definitely want to try making those again. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
And they had the really cool
And he started from
press. Yeah.
like just grinding.
Corn.
Yeah.
You were the corn grinder. You were grinding the corn, right? You did great.
I did a couple turns, but it was mostly Susan. Yeah.
And then it was literally, that was the only ingredients, was just the maize, right? You call it? And then they smashed it, and they made the balls with it, and maybe a little bit of water, right? And then they have the tortilla press. So you press it down, and it flattens it out, and you pop it on the grill, like 10 seconds on either side. It was done. That was it.
And making that right on the beach.
No additives, no preservatives, just corn tortillas from the earth. It's pretty awesome. The food was great.
Hungry.
Super fresh. Obviously, the fish was amazing. The food was great. The crickets were good. We had a little snack with crickets, roasted crickets as a bar snack with our peanuts and roasted crickets. It was really good. The seasoning on it was really good. I would eat that again. I'm not going to eat a cricket in my backyard, but I would eat that again there.
At Peñasco.
Yeah.
The menu at Peñasco was really interesting. It was all elementally inspired, I want to say.
Yeah. So the bar is inspired on the agave spirit. So basically over there, you're going to see a little bit of tequila, raicilla, sotol, and that are like the populars and the not that popular, and it's really nice. I mean, you're having a beautiful view from the cliffside, so it's kind of like an speakeasy style, but once you get there, it's more like a tree house what you are in, with a beautiful view. So definitely cocktails over there at sunset or even after your dinner, I think that it's great.
It was such a good spot. It was just gorgeous.
And we were with the general manager and his dog.
And the resident
Yes,
dog.
Pooch.
Oh, so cute. Yes. Very well behaved too,
Yeah.
that one. Yes. I'm talking about the manager, not the dog.
So Wendy, you work a lot with Rosewood properties, and this one, it's really something to discover. And Wendy's a Rosewood, I would say, connoisseur.
No, what I was saying was that I sent a lot of people to Rosewood Mayakoba in the past, and I've been to Rosewood Mayakoba, and I love Rosewood Mayakoba, and it's the same concept because it's the same ownership. So at Rosewood Mayakoba, which is in the Riviera Maya in Cancun, they have this big complex, just like they have at Mandarina, and they have several different hotels that all feed into the complex. And that's the same concept here. So at Mandarina, right now, there's only Rosewood and one and only, but I think they're going to expand and add some other properties in there. But the concept of the whole thing is so cool, where you go there, you're in a gated community, and you never have to leave. And there's no reason to leave, because everything that you would want to do in that country is right there. And then you feel very safe, and I like that. And yeah, I love Rosewood.
Yeah, that's the thing. You did feel really safe there because, again, we kind of got in the car. We kind of didn't even really drive through the city. We just kind of got on the highway, and we ended up in, this beautiful place, Mandarina, and it just felt like our own exclusive, place. And it felt so safe because the way it's set up, there's really no access to the beach on either side, right? I mean, there's cliffs on one side, and I don't know if there's open beach on the other side, but it really was just us. And, being on the beach, I kind of miss the guys that come around selling stuff though, but, but the gift shops were great. We could go and buy stuff in the gift shop. So, but yeah, the experience was just really wonderful, really relaxing. So you could go and do nothing, but then you had all the options of doing any activities that you wanted, that's why I think it's just great for kind of any age, group for sure.
I think you touched on a very important point, Stacey, because I think most people visualize Mexico and they visualize that, right? The vendors on the beach and, whereas Mandarina is more like a private sanctuary, immersed in nature.
Absolutely.
And there's none of that. It's just pure peacefulness and, besides all the nature and the sounds of the birds and everything, which is so soothing, right?
Really.
Like, could it be any more peaceful? So I think most people don't envision that when they envision Mexico.
Right, exactly. You really feel away from it all. You can't see the city. The sky is beautiful. The stars are beautiful, right? Not a lot of light pollution.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
At night, I'm a sucker for, if there's a pool and it's night, I will be in the pool and I will be looking at stars. Yeah. And so it was like 11:30 p.m. and I was just staring up. And even with the glowing lights of the other suites around, still, it was just like so many stars. Yeah. And then you hear the little birds rustle or whatever creatures are moving around at night. And it was just so peaceful. Yeah. You're very lucky, Samantha.
I am.
You had the whole package, right? You had great food, great service, wonderful experience, We had good service on our beach when we were laying out on our beach chair, lovely beach loungers. We had the great service of guy coming around and got our drinks and our lunch menu. And I'm a sucker for a good pool or beachside service, and to be able to be on the beach and have lunch and drinks sent to me, I'm in my happy place right there for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the pools, that was also unique. It was kind of this cascading 4 long infinity pools at the beach. And then of course there's the ocean if you'd like to jump in there. But I thought that was very cool too.
I love when the infinity pool, is like unobstructed view to the ocean, right? Because sometimes these resorts, they'll build their pools far, far away from the ocean. And I'm like, you're kind of missing the mark there. The reason you're coming to this oceanfront resort is I want my pool on the ocean. I want to be able to be in the pool, but feel like I'm in the ocean with the views.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they definitely did that right. And it's close. Yeah, everything is close together, which was nice. So you could walk to the spa, you could walk to the reception and the restaurant and everything. Walking, you could walk up to the mountain, rooms if you wanted, or you can hop on that bike. Where I like that you can either call a golf cart to come pick you up if you don't feel like walking, but you could definitely walk to everything, and that's nice.
Something that I do like to ask people is, what is your favorite little detail of a property? Like I think for me, I loved the books, and in the room, like there was like the Frida Kahlo book, and then there was Living in Mexico, and I just thought the choice of reading materials was so nice because I was flipping through it and like imagining myself living in Mexico, and then like in this gorgeous place. So I was like, I loved that little detail.
I love that you touched on that because that's very Rosewood. And the more you experience Rosewood, you'll find the sense of place philosophy is the common thread, and it is going to immerse you into, the location of where you are at the moment. And so that really is what's truly unique. There aren't any two Rosewoods that are alike in our beautiful, ever-evolving collection at Rosewood. So I love that you touched on that, and I really love that you appreciated that.
That is one thing about Rosewood over some of the other luxury brands, because some of the others, it's cookie cutter. Doesn't matter if you're in Turks and Caicos, you're in Mexico, or you're in Los Angeles, you know what you're going to get, and it's going to all be the same. And Rosewood tends to see what their environment is, and they bring you to the environment. But you're going to get the same level of luxury that you get at all Rosewood hotels.
Absolutely. Yes. But going back to those details, I mean, me personally, the spa bathroom, yes. I wanted to live there. I wanted to bring it home with me. I want to wake up to that spa bath experience every day. So I would say that's probably one of my personal favorite details of Mandarina. Besides, I mean, there's many. However, that's definitely a personal favorite.
Yeah, the tub was so deep, and I was like, I hope I don't slip in and drown because it's big. Yeah.
I'd be okay. If that's the way I went out of this world, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's little touches, like from the little things on your nightstand. And we did get little, they would give us a little note on our bed sometimes at night, little something to go to sleep, thinking about. The bar setup was great. I mean, you had little, really nice touches there. And, like the writing desk was lovely. Again, the bathroom was like big as the room, and, so much space to put your luggage, to lay out your things, plenty of room for your makeup and everything. And all the little touches were just taken care of. Like I never felt like, I need to call down and get this or that. It was like they anticipated your needs before you knew what you needed, and I love that.
I love the spa. Yeah. I thought the spa was great, where you got to pick your own oil, and they had different, I want to say flavors, not flavors, but they had so many oils lined up in the lobby, and the person that greeted you helped you choose before you ever went into your service room, before you had your massage. And they kind of told you what each one meant, and then helped you choose, and you could even combine. So that was neat. So customary spa treatment. And when they're taking you to your spa cabin, they take you by that tree that you talked about, and they told you the meaning of it. So it kind of had a ritual meaning before you had your spa treatment. And after, remember, they brought you to a special sitting area with a beautiful view, and you could stay there as long as you wanted and just relax. So I could see somebody, you don't just go for an hour, have a massage, and leave. You could make a whole experience of the day.
I think that for me, my special thing that I really like, it's the welcome drink. That actually it's the huino, that it's a local drink that we have over here, and actually it's corn, so it's kind of a meal. And it's yeah, and it's very nice because actually when you are entering into the Mandarina complex, it's all around pineapple lands. So it's so nice because at the end you're having the tejuino with a little touch of pineapple juice from the pineapple that you see when you're entering to the property, and then you have like on the rime a little bit of salted mandarin like over there. So I don't know, I really like those touches, and actually the bubbles that, because it's a little bit like sparkling kind of feel. So the bubbles represent the heartbeat, and it's welcoming your family to your home. So I think that's very special as well.
I thought the welcome experience was beautiful. It was really nice. It was not rushed, not hurried. It's a beautiful area that's kind of an open air reception. And you just sit down at the beautiful desk there and with your welcome drink and your cold towel and your lovely welcome staff that greets us there. It really nice welcome experience, definitely.
Something that popped into my head, maybe to like kind of button things up, is Wendy and Stacey, design me your a couple days, a perfect couple of days at Rosewood Mandarina.
I think we needed longer because 2 days was
always
no. So yeah, it wasn't enough time. But I think if you were there as a family, you could stay a week for sure. Mm-hmm. There's enough things to do. And you would never have to leave the property, and you could go play tennis, you could go play pickleball, you could go to the polo match, you could go have a massage, you could go to the beach, you could go to the pool, all the things we talked about. There's plenty of restaurants, but you could also go to the other restaurant that's on the Mandarina property, or even one of the other resorts. And as they grow, that will even enhance your stay to stay longer, because like stay at one, play at all, that kind of concept, which people like. So I thought it was great. I would stay longer than 2 days for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
I thought, 4 to 7 days, 4 to 8 days, because there are so many activities that you can do. You can go out. I mean, my perfect day, this is me, and I would suggest to my clients, they can do it however they would like when they're there. But I think I love to do like an activity in the morning. So get up and either ride a bike or go, my husband golfs, so he can get up and have his golf, experience in the morning, and then I can go to the spa. And then you also have like fishing and snorkeling activities that they do offsite, that they come and get you and take you offsite, so you can do all that in the morning. So do all your fun stuff, and then come back and have a nice relaxing lunch, and then just enjoy the beach, or curl up in your room in your little lounge next to your own pool with a book in the afternoon, and just, I love a relaxing afternoon. So get all your fun activities in the morning, and then have a nice relaxing afternoon, get dressed, and go up to the incredible restaurants that we had, dinner at. I just thought it was incredible. I loved it. So that's my perfect day. That's how I would suggest it for clients, but there's so much to do. So like, again, you can do as much as you want, or just do nothing.
When I travel, like at a resort like this, it's weird because my mind never stops working. So I'm always thinking, who's the perfect client for this? Who? The minute I got home, I'm like, okay, all those people that went to Rosewood Mayakoba, they're the perfect candidates to come here, and they would love it. But then also, because now that I'm a grandma, I'm always thinking multi-generation, bring your grandchildren. What would they do? What ages? So the Explorers Club. I'd like to go back and bring the family.
Oh, can't you just imagine taking your grandkids to see the horses? Oh, I'd flip out.
Love it. Yeah. They love all of them.
Is there anything else that we didn't touch on, or that we want to?
Travel Store is, we are one of the preferred partners of Rosewood Hotels, and we have a special thing called Rosewood Elite. And when we book with Rosewood, we get extra perks that not everybody can get if they just book on their own. So that's a huge perk, and a huge reason to come to a travel advisor with Travel Store, because we've got breakfast, and we've got a resort credit, and our Rosewood partners here, Nicole and Samantha, they know the value of that, and they usually look out for our clients, and they try to upgrade them when they get there. And they'll allow them to have an early check-in or a late checkout if it's available. And those are, the partnerships that I value as a travel advisor to give to my clients.
Absolutely, Wendy. Thank you for touching on that. Yes, our Rosewood Elite Preferred Partner Program is the highest tier. We always prioritize and preference our elite partners and their clients when it comes to upgrades. And we always work closely with you to really enhance these experiences for your clients. They'll always be recognized with a welcome note from each of our managing directors around the world as well. And so, yes, it truly is a partnership, and we really appreciate and value that partnership with you. So thank you.
Yeah. And in closing, I just think that I really love the area, and I just wanted to kind of just let people know that you're not in the middle of Puerto Vallarta. You're in this really gorgeous area, Riviera Nayarit, correct? And it's its own beautiful, dreamy place that you really do feel like you're, it's a 3-hour flight, and you really feel like you're just on your own away from everything. But you get to be in Mexico and have all the great Mexican food and the beautiful hospitality. So I say that's one of my big takeaways, just Rosewood does it right. And the experience, location, the flavors, all of it. That was a great experience.
And there you have it. That is our full resort report for Rosewood Mandarina, located in Mexico's Riviera Nayarit. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thank you so much to Wendy, Stacey, Nicole, and Samantha for joining me on this podcast to share all about the property, the amenities, and who would really enjoy going to this destination for a fabulous vacation. If you want to follow along with Wendy and Stacey's travels, you can go to our website, travelstore.com, and search their name, Wendy Sandridge, Travel Mom Wendy, or Stacey Batt, and you can see their trips, their travels, their social media handles, and you can also read their travel blogs. Thank you again as well to Samantha, Nicole, and the Rosewood team for inviting us to come down and experience the property for ourselves. We really were blown away by everything that it has to offer. It just hit 5 stars across the board. And it's no surprise because it is Rosewood, but it was really, really fantastic to experience it for ourselves and be able to share it with our travelers. And thank you as well to you for joining us for this episode. We hope you loved hearing about this great newish destination and are curious about checking out Riviera Nayarit for yourself and seeing Rosewood Mandarina. And hey, feel free to share this episode with your family and friends that you're trying to put together a trip to get away. This will do the trick. This will convince them to get down to Rosewood with you and have the best time. So thanks again so much for joining us, and until next time, safe travels from all of us here at Travel Store.